Something dangerous is happening across the central United States right now that goes beyond a single storm, a single outbreak, or a single warning. Two massive storm systems are converging on the same region of the country within a 72-hour window, and the interaction between them is producing one of the most complex and sustained severe weather setups of the entire 2026 season. The first system is already here, already producing violent tornadoes and destructive hail across Oklahoma and the southern plains. The second is building in the southwest, gaining energy, and is forecast to pivot northeast into the Missouri and Mississippi valleys by Monday. Where these two systems collide, meteorologists are watching for the kind of atmospheric conditions that produce the worst outcomes: strong tornadoes, extremely large hail, flash flooding, and destructive wind events stretched across 4 days and across a corridor covering tens of millions of Americans. Thursday night set the stage for everything that follows. A confirmed violent tornado tore through Garfield County, Oklahoma, after the National Weather Service issued a tornado emergency for the area. A tornado emergency is not a standard warning. It is the most urgent language in the NWS alert system, reserved for situations where a large destructive confirmed tornado is threatening a populated area and where a direct hit on homes or communities is considered imminent. Storm chaser Jeff Piotrowski, one of the most experienced tornado observers in the country, confirmed the damage and described the tornado in real time. This was not a brief spin-up on radar. This was a violent, damaging tornado that left evidence on the ground, and it arrived on Thursday, the first day of a 4-day sequence that meteorologists are tracking as a multi-day outbreak event across the plains and Midwest. The first storm system is a frontal boundary that has been draped across the central United States since Thursday, slowly tracking eastward. Its cold front was positioned Friday morning from the upper Mississippi Valley down through the central and southern plains. As it pushes east, and as the boundary layer heats up through the afternoon hours, instability ahead of the front is becoming explosive. The Storm Prediction Center and the Weather Prediction Center have jointly issued an enhanced risk, which is a level 3 out of 5 on the convective outlook scale, for severe thunderstorms across parts of the southern plains and the adjacent lower Mississippi Valley on both Friday and Saturday. That level 3 designation covers Oklahoma City, Tulsa, and Wichita, cities with a combined metropolitan population of more than 3 million people. The specific threats from the system are large hail above 1 inch in diameter, isolated tornadoes, and damaging wind gusts as storms develop during the afternoon and then grow upscale into squall lines overnight. The overnight transition from supercell mode to squall line mode is a specific concern forecasters have raised repeatedly for this event. During the afternoon, when instability peaks and wind shear supports discrete rotating storms, the primary hazard is supercell tornadoes. These are the longest tracked, most violent tornado producers in the atmosphere, capable of EF3, EF4, and EF5 intensity when conditions align perfectly. Thursday's Garfield County tornado fits this profile. But as individual supercells merge and organize into a quasi-linear convective system overnight, a different set of hazards takes over. The SPC has noted that the long line of storms would often produce damaging wind gusts exceeding 58 miles per hour, but can also generate QLCS tornadoes. These are tornadoes that spin up along the leading edge of a squall line rather than from a discrete rotating supercell. They tend to be weaker and shorter lived than supercell tornadoes, but they are frequently more deadly because they occur at night, when people are asleep and less able to respond to warnings in time. Roughly 20% of all tornadoes in the United States form from quasi-linear convective systems rather than supercells, and their combination of nocturnal timing and rapid development makes them disproportionately dangerous relative to their intensity rating. On Sunday, the severe threat does not ease, it shifts. The Level 3 Enhanced Risk Zone repositions northward to focus on Kansas, including Wichita, and across the state line into Kansas City, Missouri, with large hail, isolated tornadoes, and damaging wind gusts all possible again. Omaha, Nebraska is within the risk area, so is a corridor extending down through Oklahoma and into North Texas. Sunday's setup maintains the same dangerous combination of deep moisture, strong wind shear, and frontal forcing that made Thursday and Friday so active. The atmosphere has not run out of fuel. The Gulf of Mexico is still pumping warm, humid air northward. The jet stream is still providing the lift and the directional wind, shear that rotating storms need to sustain themselves. Sunday is not the tail end of a weakening system. It is a fresh reload. Then comes Monday, and with it, the second system. The SPC's Day 4 through 8 forecast guidance, issued Thursday morning, described what is now confirmed in subsequent model runs: a significant shortwave perturbation emerging from the southwest. Will pivot northeast through the middle and lower Missouri Valley and into the upper Great Lakes region by Monday and Monday night. A shortwave trough is a compact area of lower atmospheric pressure and enhanced lift embedded in the larger scale flow. When a shortwave is well defined and moves into a region of pre-existing Gulf moisture and surface boundaries, it acts as a trigger for rapid and organized storm development. The WPC's forecast for Sunday into Monday describes strong cyclogenesis, meaning the rapid development of a surface low pressure system in the Central Plains. That surface low, forecast to drop below 1,000 millibars, will draw Gulf moisture aggressively northward and create a more expansive area of thunderstorm activity stretching from the Dakotas all the way south toward Arkansas. This is not a localized afternoon storm risk. This is a synoptic scale severe weather event developing from two separate atmospheric impulses interacting over the same geography. By Monday, the Climate Prediction Center and SPC guidance both highlight an area from northern Iowa and southwest Wisconsin southward to northern Mississippi as the zone of greatest concern. St. Louis and Springfield, Missouri, as well as Springfield, Illinois, are specifically outlined within a 30% probability area for severe weather on Monday, equivalent to a level 3 enhanced risk. A strong cold front will sweep across this zone during Monday afternoon, bringing the full package of severe storm hazards, damaging wind gusts, large hail, and tornadoes. The threat continues into Monday night as the system tracks further northeast, meaning communities from the lower Missouri Valley through southern Wisconsin and northern Illinois face severe weather during the overnight hours again, compounding the nighttime danger that already existed Saturday night. The surface low pressure system forecast to develop Sunday into Monday is expected to become quite intense, potentially falling below 1,000 millibars of central pressure as it pushes into the upper Great Lakes. A sub-1,000 millibar cyclone in April is a powerful system. In the warm sector ahead of such a low, where the SPC is forecasting at least moderately large atmospheric instability and strong deep layer wind shear, organized severe thunderstorm activity is described as probable. The specific forecast language from the SPC Day 4 through 8 outlook used the phrase some potential for a few strong tornadoes, in addition to large hail and potentially widespread strong thunderstorm wind gusts. For a system still 4 days out when that language was written, that level of confidence in tornado potential represents a serious and well-supported forecast signal. The rainfall and flooding dimension running parallel to the severe weather threat adds another layer to what communities from Arkansas to the Dakotas will be managing this weekend. The WPC has identified a marginal risk for excessive rainfall from the Arklatex region into eastern Oklahoma and southeast Kansas on Saturday, with a separate marginal excessive rainfall risk for the Central Plains and Ozarks on Sunday. The Arklatex area, meaning the border zone of Arkansas, Louisiana, and Texas, is where the heaviest rainfall is expected to concentrate, with rainfall totals of 3 inches or more possible in localized areas. For Sunday, strong cyclogenesis in the Central Plains will drive significant northward moisture transport in a broad area of thunderstorm, rainfall from South Dakota and Minnesota all the way south toward Arkansas. The heavier rain signal for Sunday is focused further north, where the synoptic forcing is strongest, meaning areas across Nebraska, Iowa, and the Dakotas that have already absorbed multiple rounds of rainfall in April will receive yet another significant moisture event on top of already wet soils. There is an important difference between the two systems converging this weekend that is worth understanding. The first system, the one already producing tornado emergencies over Oklahoma on Thursday, is a frontal boundary moving progressively eastward and southward. It is a relatively fast-moving system, which means severe weather threats in any individual location are measured in hours rather than in an entire day. That is actually somewhat protective for communities in its path, because faster storm motion reduces the risk of extended flash flooding from any single cell, even while maintaining the tornado and hail hazard from rapidly developing supercells. The second system, the Monday shortwave-driven cyclone, is developing differently. It is creating a more stationary surface boundary for a period before the cold front sweeps through. And in that window of quasi-stationary moisture transport and backing low-level winds, the risk of backbuilding convection and repeated storm passage over the same areas increases meaningfully. That distinction is why the WPC is flagging the greatest heavy rain risk for the Monday system further north, where slower storm motion and deeper synoptic moisture transport overlap. The instability values forecast for this event are significant by any measure. The SPC Day 4 through 8. Discussion noted that near the dry line during peak afternoon heating on Monday, instability values above 3,000 joules per kilogram of ML Cape are a realistic possibility. 3,000 joules per kilogram of atmospheric energy available to storm updrafts represents an extremely unstable atmosphere. Supercells that develop in those environments can sustain extremely strong updrafts, which in turn produce very large hailstones, loft debris to high altitudes, and support the violent wind speeds in the mesocyclone that produce EF3 and above tornadoes when a tornado forms. The combination of that extreme instability with the 50-plus knot mid-level winds and over 100-knot upper-level winds that were being observed in soundings from Midland and El Paso confirms that the atmospheric energy budget for Monday's system is not a weak or marginal setup. It is an environment capable of producing significant severe weather across a broad region. For the communities in the path of this multi-day event, the practical message is urgent, and it needs to be heard now before Saturday afternoon storms, not during them. Severe weather preparedness in a multi-day outbreak scenario is fundamentally different from preparedness for a single event storm threat. When multiple rounds of dangerous storms arrive over 4 days, infrastructure stress compounds. Power lines downed on Saturday may not be fully restored before Monday's system arrives. Emergency management resources committed to Saturday's tornado responses may not be fully reconstituted before Sunday's outbreak begins. Roads closed by flash flooding on Sunday may still be impassable when the Monday cold front sweeps through. The cascading effect of consecutive severe weather events on the same communities within the same week represents one of the most serious operational challenges emergency managers across the plains and Midwest face. And April 2026 has already pushed that challenge to its limits multiple times before this particular sequence even began. Know where your shelter is. Make sure your phone has severe weather alerts enabled before Saturday afternoon. If you are in Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, or across the lower Mississippi Valley and have not reviewed your household emergency plan recently, do it before evening. The National Weather Service has the data. The Storm Prediction Center has the warnings. The atmosphere has the energy. 2 massive systems are converging, and the window to prepare before the first one arrives is closing fast. There is one broader point that this particular multi-day sequence illustrates with unusual clarity, and it deserves to be said directly. The central United States in April 2026 is not experiencing a random clustering of unrelated storm events. It is living through what atmospheric scientists describe as an active trough regime, a persistent, large-scale atmospheric configuration in which the jet stream repeatedly steers energy-laden storm systems across the same geographic corridor within a compressed period. Every week, sometimes every few days, a new shortwave disturbance rotates around the base of the long-wave trough centered over the western United States, encounters the warm Gulf moisture parked across the plains in Mississippi Valley, and generates another severe weather outbreak. The communities of Kansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Illinois, Iowa, and Wisconsin have been through this cycle at least 5 separate times in April 2026 alone. The storm fatigue is real, the resource strain on emergency services is real, and the cumulative toll on infrastructure, agriculture, and human well-being is real. This weekend's collision of 2 separate systems does not arrive in a vacuum.